2, 3, funky.
On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, I'll be making iron.
Okay.
We're not a cooking show anymore. On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, I'll be making cast iron cornbread. Welcome back, my little spoons. I am sorry it has been a few months, but you know, life, it happens. But today is our first beautiful day in a very long time. It is 16 degrees out. I'm excited that the 9-foot snow mound outside our house has officially melted. Today's episode, as you saw, is my homemade cornbread. Wow, okay. I guess we have audience members that do not want me to continue. Do you have something to say, Houdini? Nothing. Always nothing. I've perfected this recipe over the last 2 years, so I actually know how to do this. This isn't gonna be a fail. Oh my God, I hope it doesn't end in a fail.
Future Lily here. Little did I know, today I would learn a very valuable lesson.
But yeah, this is cast iron cornbread. It is sweet and savory. It is not necessarily dessert, but it really goes well with spicy chili, spicy soups. I do a nice corn chowder. This goes brilliant with it. And this is actually obviously official because it made it into the Millennial cookbook. I pre-mix all the dry ingredients, all measured out into like little Ziploc bags. And I do about 6 at a time and I just throw them in my pantry. You can also put it in jars and label it. I know that this is cornbread because it's the only thing I put in baggies. It's like a grab and go. The ingredients are...
You're gonna need fine cornmeal, flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, sugar, buttermilk, eggs, browned butter, which I will show you how to do that in this episode. Also, feel free to just screenshot this if it makes it easier to go shopping.
It has to be fine cornmeal. Actually, let me rephrase that. It doesn't have to be. It can be whatever you want. But the way I like my cornbread and what I've perfected it to for myself is fine cornmeal. Or as Dad says, I just like the texture of it. I know that some people like really crumbly cornbread. And with this, because I'm gonna be making honey butter, it spreads easier. It absorbs any, chili sauce and stuff that you're eating it with as well. It's the Italian in me. I had to make like the perfect bread essentially to stop up the goods, You know what I mean. I think. I've taught Cody really well though. Now he knows to clean the dish after the meal. With any bread that's on the table. Second ingredient that is a must, buttermilk. In my opinion, every other milk, it just doesn't work. It's got like the perfect tang to add that extra layer to the recipe. Third ingredient, a stick of browned butter. So it's not normal butter. I literally have to brown it myself and I will show you. Did you see that? My thing on the fridge fell. Oh my God, it's Linda again. It's been like that for months, but Linda's here. She wants to learn how to make cornbread. Anyway, first of all, you're gonna want unsalted butter because we're adding salt into the recipe as is, and it's already in my little handy dandy pre-measured bag of stuff. And then you wanna like at least have half a stick of butter at room temperature because you'll be making honey butter. Let's get this brown butter did. Don't you do it. Get out of here. Before you start doing, I need to like tie my hands down here. Before you brown your butter, preheat your oven to 425 degrees because you want to warm up your cast iron skillet before you actually put your mix into the skillet. That way you can get like a nice crust on your cornbread itself when you are done. I think that explained it. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. All right. Very important step before you even start browning your butter is you want to have your buttermilk and eggs mixed already and you want it to sit at room temperature for, I don't know, like 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead, that's the first step I'm gonna do. Preheat oven. Mix your buttermilk and eggs for room temperatureness. Does that make sense? 1.5 cups of buttermilk. And then 2 large eggs. Okay, so the 2 eggs, the buttermilk, just give it a good mix. No. Okay. Now that you have your buttermilk and eggs mixed, You're gonna set it aside for 30 minutes. Now onto the browned butter. Just a little backstory. I got this, what is this called? Hot plate. I got this hot plate for free through my day job. It's literally gonna change my life with this show. I have never used this before. I don't even know if it works. Watch it not work. I'll be so mad. Okay, it's plugged in. We're gonna hit on, max power.
Little safety PSA here. Do not put it on max power. I repeat, do not use max power.
It's making a really scary noise.
It sounds like this.
Oh. I'm going to, just give me a second. Call a priest, yeah. This is my cast iron skillet. It's been seasoned quite a bit. I love a seasoned skillet. I'm gonna go and put that in the oven. That way it is hot by the time we're done our butter and mixing. Be right back. Time for the browned butter. So I have a stick of unsalted butter.
Even Houdini was giving me fair warning.
This smells freaking weird. Okay, I'm gonna go put my butter into my hot.
That face you make when you know you messed up.
Oh my. Off.
You have to set to Satan.
Oh my God.
I don't think it works.
You know, I don't, how? Like, does this, did I turn it off? Okay, now that we almost died, apparently this induction cooker could go up to, what did it say? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the butter in the the pan separate, and then if it starts to melt really fast, I'll take it off. So when you make brown butter, you do have to keep an eye on it, because once the stick is melted, you don't wanna burn the brown butter. So you kinda have to move it in a circular motion. Wow, I can't believe I almost killed us. I was a little scared too. That's crazy. That's never happened before. Jesus, I feel like an idiot. Okay, so it's melting, it's fine. This is now like where it's like melting really quickly.
The key to this is that you have to keep it moving as soon as the stick of butter is melted. As it's browning, you have to consistently keep going in order to get that nice dark chestnut brown.
Once it's browned, you want to immediately take it off the burner, and you're just gonna want to pour it into a glass or a bowl. Now that we almost died. This is the brown butter. Beautiful color, because anything darker than that, you just burnt your butter like the first time.
Okay, so before any of you come for me in the comments, I just want to clarify that when I received this tabletop burner, I had no instruction booklet, it didn't come in a box, and I honestly thought that it was just a normal tabletop burner, but turns out obviously it was an induction oven. So lesson learned, that's what these tests are for, but there you go. You got your content, moving on.
Wow, it's gonna trigger me for the rest of my life. You want this to cool down. This is extremely hot. This will be hot for a very long time. If you put an ice cube in it, it helps speed it up and brings down the temperature enough that you can mix it with your egg mixture as well. By the way, our cast iron is still preheating in the oven. The butter has cooled a little bit. Like I could hold it in my hand, it's just warm. This is another very important step. Even though that this is cooled off a bit and it is warm, you wanna slowly pour it into your egg buttermilk mixture, because you still wanna temper your eggs and buttermilk, because you don't want scrambled eggs essentially with buttermilk. Ugh. I'm just gonna pour a little at a time. And I'm just gonna mix, incorporate it. Patience is the key. I did this once and the whole thing curdled. I was so upset. I had to brown the butter again. Thank God I had more buttermilk. You'll know it's curdled. It becomes very chunky. And I'm actually gonna clean out this container. Get all the goods, all the little brown goodies from the bottom. The reason that I brown the butter is because it adds like this nutty caramel extra flavoring. I find that plain butter is bland, if that makes any sense. So now that your buttermilk and brown butter are combined, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix it with our dry ingredients. Slowly add this. Now that it's combined, it is a A thick pancake consistency? I don't know, what would you call that, Cody? Crepe. Crepe's thinner, isn't it? I'm going to carefully remove the cast iron skillet. Now I have my piping hot, oh my God, cast iron skillet. Don't you dare. I'm going to butter it. Actually, I'm not gonna use a knife. I'm gonna use a basting brush. What in the? Here's my basting brush. It was cheap because I got a few broken little bristles. This is salted butter. There we go. Listen to the melting. Don't forget to use the butter to paint the sides of the pan as well. Also, this is great for seasoning your pan. Perfect. So now that that is all buttered and still piping hot, friends, we're going to head and pour the cornbread into the cast iron skillet. Aim for the center. It kind of moves as one. I should have a GoPro from like yes. Make it even, fill the sides if you can. Perfection. So I'm gonna put this in the oven for 20 minutes. It says 20 to 25 minutes. And of course I'm gonna, oh my God, the tray is hot. The tray wasn't in the, oh! This is not my day. I'm gonna pop this in the oven for 20 minutes and we'll be back. Because I burnt my first room temperature stick of butter. I don't have room temperature butter. I have this, which is literally, like, look at this. It is what, like half a teaspoon? Usually you're supposed to use half a stick of butter. I'm gonna just mix this little bit of butter. It started out as a good day, you know? You're gonna get local honey. This is Beamsville honey. Again, you don't want that Billy B stuff because it's all filled with corn syrup. No, not cornstarch. Corn syrup. You do half a stick of unsalted butter with, I think it's a tablespoon of honey.
Just a quick correction. It is half a stick of unsalted butter and half a tablespoon of local honey.
But because this is like a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of butter, salted butter, I'm just gonna go ahead and just do like half a teaspoon, maybe less, a dollop. Then you're gonna mix that and you're gonna just create honey butter. And literally, you can put this on anything. If you like honey on toast, why not add the butter? This is the sadness of our lives today. We didn't burn down the house. We almost did, but we survived. And I didn't realize it was an induction burner until after the fact. Anywho, when we come back, we will have the cornbread. It has been 23 minutes. I put a knife through it. It came out clean, just like you would for a cake. I just wanted to show you what it looked like. For a thumbnail, I don't know. What? Stop. Get out. Even Ichabod's yawning at your joke. This is a family channel. I have to flip this over because I don't want it to continue like browning. I need it to cool off. It should just, oh, there we go. I'm just going to flip it. As you can see, it's like golden brown around the edges. We're going to paint it with some honey, but I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes to do that. It's cooled off significantly. Oh my God. What do you mean, what's wrong? You're fine. The cookie tray allows airflow to go under it to cool off the bottom. Wait. Cody, control your man. I'm going to put some honey over the top of it. You could skip this step if you don't really want sweetness because you still have like honey butter to use. Because it's still warm, it will naturally melt and soak right in. Yeah. Do I always do that? Jesus. Shows how much you pay attention to my cooking. Now that it's like all warm and schmelty. Look at that. There's like a glaze, a honey glaze to it. My next step for this is I have chunky sea salt. This is like a Newfoundland brand, I forget the name. And you just sprinkle that all over. So you get that sweet, salty, can I help you, honey? And you could go back in with your spoon and just kind of make it even. Then I'm gonna put on a plate and cut it up. This is our finished product, as you can see. So cute. I cut like little squares. You can do like pie pieces and things like that. It's still fairly warm. I don't mind eating it cold, room temperature, or warm in general. And we're gonna take my little itsy bitsy teeny bit of honey butter. As you can see, it's very cake-like versus just crumbly. You still have the crumble because of the cornmeal, but because we use the fine cornmeal, it holds. So, okay, put the butter on and taste test it. No flash photography. God. I'm blocking the camera. Oh! So I like to, you can eat it as a snack, dip it in, like I said, chili, soups, whatever. Okay. You're worse than the dogs, you know that? Run. Run away. That concludes our episode of Cornbread. Obviously, it was not a failure, but we did almost burn the house down. So, all right, I almost burnt the house down. Thought I ruined my pan. That would have really sucked. Come here, Houdini. I didn't make you cornbread. I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging out this long, my little spoons. This is Houdini, the other little spoon. Before I get the comments, he's supposed to be this skinny. Ichabod's just a little fatty. Let me know if you made the recipe yourself. Oh, you're so tired. You did nothing all day. I could also teach you how to burn your house down. It's fine. Simple. I'm very thankful for all my little spoons out there. Stay tuned. Summer is coming, and I hope to God my garden is great this year. I have a lot of recipes, possibly ones that I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but that's the fun of this show, and you can change it up any way you want. I'm not telling you how to cook. Either is Houdini. Would you stop? Like, subscribe, share, and yeah, really, cornbread.
Abbondanza. Prego.
My darling, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.